My dear brothers and sisters, there are two events that we are celebrating this week. One is the martyrdom of Imam Musa al-Kadhim alayhi salam that I mentioned now. Imam al-Kadhim is known for so many qualities. But maybe one prime quality, in addition to being a founder of the very first Islamic university, along with his father, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, in Medina. Imam Musa al-Kadhim is known to be the Imam of the resistance, Imam al-Muqawama, against oppressors and injustice. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran instructs Muslims not to follow the oppressors. وَلَا تَرْكَنُوا إِلَى الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا فَتَمَسَّكُمُ النَّارِ. This is what the Quran says. It says, do not succumb to those oppressors, for you might be punished severely by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we know that Islam wages a big war against injustice and oppressors. We know Islam would not compromise with oppressors. We know one of the main principles that Islam always promotes is zero tolerance toward oppressors. In other religions, you find a slogan that says, what is for God is for God, what is for Caesar is for Caesar. ما لله لله وما لقيصر لقيصر. Islam says no. Islam says وَكُونَا لِلظَّالِمِ خَصْمًا وَلِلْمَظْلُومِ عَوْنًا. Every time you find an oppressor, don't be intimidated to criticize him, no matter how mighty that oppressor is. And anytime you find an oppressed person, support the oppressed, regardless of his identity. When there is oppression, speak up. Don't be intimidated. Even if the oppressed does not belong to your religion or your school of thought. A week ago, there was a bombing in Egypt against the church, the Coptic church. Some 50, 60 people were killed. Some Muslim says, I don't care, this has to do with Egyptians. That's not true. Every Muslim person should condemn these attacks. Even if the victims are Christians, so what? They are innocent people. They are human beings. And we as Muslims have to be very vocal in condemning those atrocities that are done in the name of our religion, in the name of Islam. And if the suicide bomber who attacked Christian Coptics in Egypt thinks by detonating himself he will go to paradise and he will meet 72 virgin, we tell him, you're dead wrong. You're going straight to hell. You're not going to paradise. We should be courageous enough to condemn these attacks, my dear brothers and sisters. When there is an attack in Syria, for example, it doesn't matter who the victim is. We should not look for the identity of the victim. Whether the victim is Muslim or non-Muslim, Shia or Sunni, it doesn't matter at all. When there are innocent victims, we have to condemn any attack against innocent victims. This is what our religion teaches us, my dear brothers and sisters. Not to defend people only if they belong to my religion or my country or my school of thought. Whenever there is injustice, we have to stand against injustice, no matter where that injustice comes from and who is conducting that injustice. Last week, for example, there was an attack against innocent people, over 120 people from the two cities in Syria, Kafariya and Fo'a. Over 68 victims were kids. Yeah, we do condemn this attack. But I don't condemn this attack because the victims were Shia. I condemn this attack because they were innocent people, as I condemn any attack in Syria, anywhere in Syria, in Fo'a or in any other city, in Halab, in Deir Sheikhun, any place where there are innocent people being killed. We Muslims, and especially the followers of Ahlul Bayt, who have been instructed by our Imam and our leader Ali ibn Abi Talib, كُونَا لِلظَّالِمِ خَصْمًا وَالْمَظْلُومِ عَوْنًا. We have been instructed by Imam Musa ibn Ja'far to stand against aggression and injustice, regardless who the victim is or the oppressor. We have to have enough courage to condemn any atrocity against any civilians, any innocent people, whether they are Shia or Sunni. Does it really matter? Whether they are Christians or Muslims, does that really matter? If the victims belong to this sect or that sect, to this religion or that religion? It doesn't matter. When Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib was told that two women, one was Muslim, the other one was a Christian, in the city of Anbar, they were violated by oppressors, the Imam's reaction was to cry. قال فلو أن امرئا مات من بعد هذا أسفا لما كان عندي ملوما ولكان به جديرا. If I die out of depression because of what happened to those innocent women, remember, one is a Christian, I don't blame myself. This is what Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib says. My dear brothers and sisters, also we will be celebrating